Okay, we'll continue this morning with the Albertville Aggies and Coach Bert Browne. And Coach, welcome to Marshall County.
Thank you.
Welcome
it's great to be here.
Marshall County Media Day. And I'd let you introduce them, or let these guys introduce themselves. Yeah. You'd give us some opening comments about the Albertville Aggies.
Okay, I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name is Reed Kitchens. I play center and defensive end, number 54.
My name is Xavier Havis, linebacker tight end, number 0, senior.
Well, just kind of to start off, we have 9 seniors and 9 juniors, 7A football. That's something that we have to fix as a coaching staff. We've got to recruit our school, our 5th and 6th grade. We just got done being out on the field working out, and we went over and handed out some popsicles and stuff to our band that has 400 in it. And there was 2 offensive tackles over there in the band. So we're going to have to do a good job of recruiting our kids. And, you got 9 seniors and 9 juniors. I don't know if that's been going on, but we're going to definitely do that. I'm going to be in the 5th and 6th grade, the intermediate school right over here at lunch, and getting to know those kids. And I'm going to be over there in that middle school at lunch some, and throughout the year, and getting to know those kids and getting kids to love football and wanting to play football at Albertville. And one of the things, and this is the 6th program I've taken over that had not been successful. And, one of the things that when you're a 15, 16, 17-year-old boy and you walk in a school after a beatdown on Friday night, people are talking about you and things like that. There's not too many kids that have the guts to step up like these young men and keep going and playing. And so every program I've ever taken over, I've really tried to instill in the kids that you can do it. We are going to do it. We're going to work hard, and we're going to have discipline. We're going to act right on the sidelines. We're going to do all the things that it takes to be successful. And we're going to give these guys, we're going to put them in all the right situations. They're going to be prepared. So, we just got to do we've got to do a great job of getting the young kids out to play football. And, but these guys that have stuck around and gone through the summer that we've gone through, that I don't know, I've asked them to come in there 4 days a week and work over 3 hours a day and do those things. And, for the young men that have stuck it out and stuck with it, that says a lot about them, their intestinal fortitude, the things they want to do. Because I remember it was many years ago, but I was 15 at one time, and I was very lucky to be a part of a football program that was successful. But I can remember, being a 15-year-old and what goes through your mind. And if you walk into school on Monday after you've been beat 50-0, and a 15-year-old girl tells you you're terrible, what can you say? There's not much you can say. And that's what I've been telling these kids all summer. We got to work to change that. What are you willing to give up to change all of that? What are you willing to give up to be successful? And that's any time. And, I try to share life experiences with them and tell them that's anything you do in life that's worth anything. You got to give things up if you want to be good at it. Do you want to lay on the couch all day, or you want to work and make money and be able to have a nice house, drive a nice car, and those kind of things? So we're trying to change the culture. That's for sure. I've had a lot of kids quit over the summer. Probably 7 starters that have not stuck with us, but these guys have, and the kids are there. We're going to be successful. We're going to put them in the right position, and we're going to do the right things. We're going to be disciplined. We're not going to we're going to jog off the field. There is no more walking off the field at Albertville High School. So we're changing some little things that I think can go a long way, and I know they do because I've done this. It's the 6th time that I've taken over a program, like I said, that hasn't been successful, and we've turned it around. So I'm excited about this group. We're going to have a lot of guys go both ways, including these 2 guys. It's old school football, man. 75 snaps probably a game, these 2, if not more. So, but I'm excited about this season. We've got some good skill. We've got our offensive line's been working hard. Our D-line's been working hard. So I'm excited about it. I really am. And I know a lot of people say, well, 7A, but I don't care. That's what we are. So we're not going to talk about that. because we are 7A, so we've got to go out and play a 7A schedule, and that's what we're going to do. And then, we've got two pretty tough ones out of the gate that aren't 7A. So we've done ourselves no favor in scheduling. So,
Coach, could you talk about, you brought in basically a whole new staff.
Yes, sir.
Brought some outstanding coaches in with you. And kind of what kind of offense and defense can fans expect and we see from Albertville this year?
Yeah. Well, obviously, when you have kids going both ways, we're not going to be any kind of hurry-up, crazy offense. Ken Karcher is my offensive coordinator. Ken, of course, I don't know, some of you might have read, Ken was Parade All-American, I think, in 1980. That's Under Armour All-American now. And signed with Notre Dame, started 3 games at Notre Dame as a puppy, and had another guy starting in front of him. And like Ken said, he goes, I was young and stupid and thought to get to the NFL I'd have to go somewhere now and start. And so he transferred to Tulane, ended up being John Elway's backup for the Broncos, and played for, I think, maybe the Eagles for a year, maybe, I can't remember. But Ken has been the head football coach at Liberty University, FBS. He's been the head football coach at East Central Mississippi Junior College the last 10 years. He's retired, and he moved to Alabama to be around his grandkids. And I put stuff out on Football Scoop about needing coaches and a possible coordinator. I'm a quarterback, offensive coordinator guy, and I've never given that up. But at my last job, when I was a high school head coach at Stewart's Creek before I went to Tennessee Tech, it was a big high school, and I was offensive coordinator and head coach, and I just said, if I can find somebody I trust, I'm giving this thing up, because it's just too much at a big high school to be the head football coach and the coordinator. There's a lot on you, a lot of things you got to do. And so when I got his resume, I thought it was a joke because the guy, he was a head football coach in FBS, and he's saying, hey, I want to come just help you out. And so I called him and I said, is this a joke? And he started laughing. He said, no. And so we got to talking, just a great Christian man. Of course, I'm a quarterback guy. I've had 6 kids I've coached in quarterbacks that I did not recruit from somebody else, that I don't know that everybody can say that, that I brought from my school that were there all their life, that signed scholarships to play quarterback. So I consider myself a pretty good quarterback coach. But Ken is right there with me. He played quarterback in the NFL, and he does a great job with our quarterbacks. And I've told our staff there's 2 people that talk to the quarterbacks. That's me and Ken, and nobody else. They can say good job, but don't coach them. But Ken does a great job, and so offensively, we're going to have a bunch of puppies playing. We're going to have Des Revolt's going to be our starting quarterback. He's a sophomore, never has played quarterback, so that's our I brought him in, and Bryant Nelson, who's an Albertville boy, is going to be our offensive line coach. I brought him in, and so defensively, Tony Harper was a 22-year college coaching veteran. Ken was a 32-year college coaching veteran, was a coordinator in the NFL Europe, offense coordinator in NFL Europe, and then the other league, I think maybe the World League, he was an offensive coordinator. And then you got Tony. That was another thing. Tony sent me an email, and I thought that was a joke. Tony was a 10-year head college coach in Nebraska, and he's a 22-year college coaching veteran, 17 years as a defensive coordinator in college. And so I tell our kids all the time, you don't know how lucky you are to have these 2 guys as your coordinators, teaching you football and going to get you prepared to play a football game, going to be able to make great changes during the game. We were doing 7-on-7 out here the other day, and after 2 snaps, me and Ken were standing there, and Ken said, yeah, here's what we're going to do. They're doing this. In 2 snaps, the guy had it and said, all right, we're going to hurt him with this. So I'm excited about those 2 guys and the staff that we have.
Well, Coach, there's two questions, one for you and one for the kids. Everybody knows Albertville struggled lately. What attracted you to this job?
Well, this is a funny story. I'm recruiting. I was at Tennessee Tech. It was in December, and I'm recruiting, and I'm coming from Birmingham, Decatur area, and I'm coming down through Arab, and I'm headed down into Gunnersville, headed to Cookville. It's a Friday night. I'm trying to get home to see my wife and our dogs, and I had to go to the bathroom, to be honest with you, and I couldn't, between Arab and Gunnersville, there's no place. So I was like, I got to find somewhere to go to the bathroom. So I go down the hill, and there's Publix. So I thought, well, hey, they got great sandwiches. I'm hungry. I'll run in there, use the bathroom, get a sandwich. So on my way out, and I'd been thinking about, I told my wife a year ago, I said, I'm about done with this craziness of college football. You're on your phone 24/7. You got to like 15-year-old and 16-year-olds' tweets. And it's a constant, you're constantly recruiting, which I like recruiting, but, it's just a crazy world in the college game now. They need to make some rules so that it can be a little easier for coaches when it comes to recruiting. And, you don't have any time off. You're 24/7. And, if you're on vacation and some big recruit's coming through campus and calls all of a sudden, then you got to come off vacation to meet that kid on campus. And, so I came out of Publix, and I was just looking at the area, and this whole area is just a beautiful area. And I said out loud, man, this would be a nice place to live, And so, like I say, we had talked about me going back into the high school, being a high school head coach, either in Georgia or Alabama. I'm a Kentucky boy, so I come from basketball country. I grew up in that. I played all three sports, and Kentucky's just a different world when it comes to basketball. There's gyms up there that seat 6,000, 7,000, and so I wanted to get to football country, and of course Alabama is, and so I just saw it online one day, and called Mr. Phillips, our principal, and I said, I'd like to send you my resume, and got an interview. And when I left the interview, I really felt good about Todd Watkins, our assistant superintendent, who's our acting superintendent now, and Jordan Phillips, and then Matt Lambert, our AD, were the three guys that interviewed me. And I knew then that these guys kind of knew what they were doing, because they didn't have 10 people in there interviewing me. Because anytime you go in there, in my opinion, when you see 10 people in there interviewing, it's not a good sign. You need the principal, the AD, and maybe one other guy like Todd that's coached football. And so I just had a great feeling when I left that interview. And I called my wife on my way home. I said, this might be the place. So of course, she's a researcher. So she starts researching houses and all that stuff in the area. And we're in love with the area. It's a great place.
Well, this is for the players so far. What is your impression of Coach Browne? How has he changed the culture so far?
Go ahead, Xavier.
Since they came in, every day they would preach attitude and effort. So I think they really changed our focus level when it comes to the sport. They made us work way harder than we've ever worked since I've been in high school. And I just think that they're really pushing us to be a good football team.
They are teaching us to learn the game mentally and not just physically. So we know down distance, all the things that go into it mentally rather than just physically too.
This one's also for the players. Obviously Coach Browne has college experience. He's talking about your OC who has it, and then the other coach who has college and NFL experience. How nice is it to have that, just maybe on the field, but even, I don't know if you guys are, trying to play at the next level or not, but to help you maybe guide that, especially Coach Browne, he was on the other side. He was the person recruiting. How nice is that to have in the program to help you guys not just on the field, but maybe off of it?
It's very nice to have him. We were really impressed when he decided to come here, and we're very thankful.
Yeah, it's real good to have them. They make me look forward, and they've taught me a lot. They've made me a way better player than I was when they first got here, and I'm just real thankful and appreciate.
Now that we're getting closer to the start of the season, where have you been focusing most of your attention at practices?
That for me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're going to do everything. I think. I don't know. I'm a big special teams guy. I believe in practicing that when I think there's a lot of schools that probably don't work that very hard. We are going to, and we're going to have our kids prepared in those kind of aspects. but we do everything. I mean, we're lifting, running, doing offense and defense and all that thing. There's nothing one specific, side of the ball or thing that we do. And we've asked a lot out of these kids this summer that they haven't been asked to do. And but like I tell them all the time, what are you willing to give up to be good? What are you willing to give up to be great? And because you have to. And I think I'm not an Alabama fan, but I'm a Nick Saban fan, and I heard him say something to that effect. You got to be willing. Like I heard him say one time, not very many people want to be great. They don't want to put the time in the effort to be great. They just want to get by. There's a lot of just get byers, and that's what I tell these kids all the time. How good do you want to be? What kind of feeling do you want to have on Monday mornings walking into school? Do you want that bad feeling that you had last 2 years, or do you want the good one where you walk in and you feel good about yourself and you can be a proud 16, 17-year-old kid?
Coach, thanks for being here today. Good luck. You open at Arab in a couple of weeks, actually a month from tonight, I believe. So good luck to you. Guys, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I was going to try to see if Coach Osmond would let me get out of that and let's go play a junior high in Tennessee or something. I would open up with those guys,
Did you
man.
catch him going out the door?
No, I didn't get to talk to him. You guys were hurrying me in here.